Before we begin, bro, please follow my Instagram. Please, sir. Can we have some clout? Can we have some clout, please? Please. Leaks are such a complicated topic in music because, like, on one hand, like, let's use Che for example, right? Che is an artist that goes through many different eras and sounds throughout his career. So he's not gonna stick with one sound after he's done with that era. He's probably gonna move on to the next one. That being said, he's never dropping OK. Like, that's never gonna come out unless he decides, alright, fuck it, 2028, 5-year anniversary edition of Kruger, which I highly doubt will happen, but 5-year anniversary edition of Kruger with that song on it as the deluxe or whatever, that shit is not dropping. So in instances like that, I'm in support of leaks. You know, I'm encouraging leaks because we weren't gonna hear that song any other way. Like, let's be real, if that song leaks, we're never gonna hear it, like, ever. Like, which is why it kind of annoys me when people like Tyler the Creator go on these like Twitter temper tantrums complaining about how their music got leaked, when the shit that's usually leaking from Tyler is like demos and instrumentals he made from like 2008, bro. Be honest with yourself. You were gonna put that on your next album? No, you weren't. Talk about how you hate your old music all the time. On the other hand, though, I've said this plenty of times on my channel, bro, but I hate when leaks get in the way of shit. Like, when y'all was leaking Rest in Bass era stuff before Rest in Bass came out, that was genuinely pissing you off because it kept delaying the album further and further, because now Che needs to make new material in order to make up for the material you guys have stolen from him, and you guys are profiting off the work that he already did. And with people like osamason or Sofego or whoever, right, it genuinely does make shit worse than it needs to be. While I'm overall grateful for leaked music existing, it genuinely does depend on the context of when and why it's leaking in order for it to be deemed okay or not. Like, alright, bro, yeah, sure, let's leak that Kanye West song from 2010 that he's never ever gonna release. He's moved past that. It's been, what, 16 years since he recorded the song? It's unfinished. The only thing that's finished about the song is the beat, and even then he's probably gonna tweak it to hell and back. Yeah, bro, fuck it, leak that song. But like, no, Osamason song he made literally yesterday, you guys are dorks, bro. But what people don't talk about is leaks is the actual leakers themselves. Like, people don't often acknowledge the people who actually leak the music. Like, the actual hackers who sit there and sim swap all day for Bitcoin. Whole time, these niggas are making more money than some people working double shifts at Zaxby's right now. King Bob is a notorious hacker among the Playboi Carti and Lil Uzi Vert communities. He leaked a lot of their stuff, but he will really start to go down in infamy when he would leak stuff like Ariana Grande and SZA songs, which, side note, right, rap music listeners, they don't give a fuck, right? And sometimes the rappers themselves, Uzi has literally stated that he would rather his leakers be leaking his own music for money instead of doing dumb shit on the streets and ended up getting hurt or in jail. You leak one of them pop girly songs, they're gonna find you, bro. They're gonna take you out back and do you like how they did Jiraiya, my nigga. Like, you're fucked. And that's essentially what happened to King Bob in early 2024, where he would be arrested. There's an article I'm about to leak down, basically detailing everything about his case and where King Bob went wrong. But for the people who don't want to read, this nigga got way too greedy and was honestly stupid as hell. Like, he was connected to some Riot Games hack where they like stole $12 million from the company, and like, alright, you stole a crazy amount of money, right? What would be your first instinct? Your first instinct would be like, oh, I gotta get out of here. I can't stay in America. Let me go to Cuba, or let me go to Russia or some shit. He would instead not do that. Like, he stayed in the States. He was also bragging about the shit he did on Discord, which wouldn't be a problem if the feds hadn't tapped his Discord. And then he got caught with the same Airbnb, like, profile pictures, and so they could pinpoint where the fuck he was, because he was jumping from Airbnb to Airbnb instead of fleeing the country. But in case you're feeling bad or whatever, because let's be real, wire fraud, aggressive identity theft, he's serving a dime in prison. He was also kind of like a massive piece of shit too. This guy was TJX6ing people who like genuinely were vulnerable, such as the elderly or the disabled, in order to gamble in front of e-girls on Discord. Kinda got what he deserved there. He's still kind of active on Twitter, like he just did an interview with 42 CEO, But call me a conspiracy theorist or something, bro, but I don't think that's King Bob running that account, bro. Because really sit up here and think about it. How do you have access to not only a phone, but then the internet to then connect to Twitter to do a live interview with somebody on Twitter where you have to be there and present without COs noticing? And then how do you still have some of the files and some of the songs you have leaked and sim swapped from other people? Like, you would think all that shit would be seized. Like, you would think you wouldn't have access to that shit in prison. I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe it's a key part I'm missing or whatever. I think personally, whoever's running the King Bob account is either A, one of his friends, like someone close to King Bob, or like one of his affiliates or whatever, or somebody consensually or not took control of King Bob's account and also coincidentally has some of the files that King Bob had, or is also a Carti insider, or has hacked into King Bob's stuff and got the files that he had and is just LARPing as King Bob, which is even fucking weirder. Sometimes on this channel I like to sneak in little life lessons, that you can stick with you, take with you for the rest of your life, and apply it to your life. These life lessons can go anywhere from free Palestine, you're not red pilled, you're a fucking loser, love everybody. But here's one life lesson I'm going to teach you, right? And that is, be very smart about your money. More specifically, stop donating to group buys. I'm well aware that the people who donate to group buys usually are not people with any sort of responsibility whatsoever. Like, they're probably 15 or 16, just got their first job, got their first couple of paychecks, don't really know what to do with them yet. They already kind of have a PS5. They're just kind of buying random useless shit and doing shit like this. Let's ignore the ethics of this shit for 5 minutes, right? Which, believe me, we'll get there. But let's ignore the ethics of group buy culture in general. Let's just specifically talk about what's going on financially. You have to give your money in the form of Bitcoin to another nigga because he was able to hack their email or hack another nigga's SIM card or whatever and able to get a song that you hadn't heard yet. So you're about to spend money to get that song released. Whole time, not only are you paying a ridiculous amount of money, but number one, regardless if you donated to the group buy or not, other niggas are still going to be able to listen to the song. I've never donated to a group buy ever in my life, but you best fucking believe I have a couple of unreleased songs on my hard drive. And I mean more than a couple, about like 500 to 600 if I'm being more accurate and specific. But once again, I didn't put in nothing for that group buy. So what you're essentially paying for when you donate shit is a special role on Discord that, it might include a little picture next to it, and it's basically a thank you for pitching in money so that somebody else's work can be dropped on the SoundCloud because a greedy bastard stole another nigga's song. And instead of being reasonable and just dropping the file on SoundCloud, they want money so that other niggas could drop the file on SoundCloud. Is it clicking to you yet why this shit is dumb? And then, that's assuming you know what the group buy is for, You know what a blind group buy is? You niggas will run a blind grail group buy where the song could be literally anything, but you guys still pitch in anyway because it's a fucking Carti song. Like, once again, do you see how stupid this is? 6.5K for something you don't even know exists, something you've never heard before, but because it's a Carti song, it's okay, right? 6.5K United States dollars. Let's see. For 6.5K United States dollars, USD, you can, according to the official Chick-fil-A website, you can go on there and order a Chick-fil-A sandwich meal, which is $8.79 per meal. That includes the fries, the drink, the everything. Let's round up and say 9 because of taxes or whatever, right? 6.5K divided by 9 is 722 repeating. So you could have fed 722 homeless people, but you spent all that money on a Carti song. For 6.5K, that could change an innocent little kid's life in Gaza right now. 6.5K, you can put down a down payment for a car with 6.5K. You can pay rent like a crazy amount of rent for 6.5K. 6.5K? If that shit was deposited in your bank account right now, you had 6.5K in your bank account right now, I guarantee you you're moving different. You're moving different. 6.5K, sure, isn't a ridiculous, life-changing amount of money, but it is definitely a decent chunk of money that has definitely, for sure, went to somebody who did not deserve it. Whole time, you're thinking that you're cool because you spent, what, $5 on a Carti song? And you guys collectively sent this nigga 6.5K? Guess what? Guess what? You just paid for that nigga's down payment on a new Beamer. And what did he do to get this money? Absolutely nothing. He just hacked somebody and scam other niggas to get to the point. Hell, he might be like fucking King Bob and gamble it all away. And that's not even getting to the ethics of this shit. A couple years back, there was an amazing leak season in the Uzi community. A whole bunch of grails leaked that niggas thought we was never gonna see ever again. Like, grails leaked that nobody thought was gonna leak. And guess what? They leaked because, while yes, they were ran for a group buy, which you can still debate is morally okay or not. While yes, they ran for a group buy, they were cheap. They weren't insanely priced. Uh-oh, turns out that nigga got doxxed. So guess what he's not doing no more? Leaking shit. I wonder who did that. Probably the whole crew of leakers who sit up here and, once again, exploit other people's work for their gain by charging ridiculous amounts for group buys. Stop donating to these shits. You literally feel these losers' heads thinking that they're doing something important with their life, and all they're doing is quite literally scamming people. Like, if you wanted to give your money away so badly, it's February, it's Black History Month, donate to the NAACP. Or matter of fact, donate to Arab.org. Or matter of fact, donate to Charity's Funeral. But you are literally getting nothing from giving these people money. Because at the end of the day, this is what's gonna happen. You keep buying and keep buying into these blind group buys for grails and shit, even though you may or may not like them. The seller keeps gassing up prices because you guys keep buying them. Like, this is basic economic shit. And then what's gonna happen? Millions of more people are gonna sit there and listen to the leak already available on SoundCloud, regardless if they pay for it or not. Now, I can understand if you knew exactly what the song was, the group buy was for cheap, so they weren't gouging prices, and it's a song you really wanted. Alright, maybe then I understand. I still think you'd have better uses of your money, but at least that's a little more justified to me. But if I catch any one of you niggas sitting here unironically giving money to a blind grail group buy to any artist, I don't care if it's Uzi, Carti, Travis Scott, nigga, it could be Cash Dami, I don't care. If I catch you niggas donating to that shit, I'ma hurt you. I'm not even kidding when I say that. It makes more economic sense for you to buy a girl's OnlyFans than it is for you to donate to a blind group buy for a potential grail you don't know if you like or not. Like, you haven't heard the full song. Plus, wasn't there like this whole fiasco with the Carti community where they raised a blind group buy grail for a ridiculous amount of money as usual, and the song turned out to be AI, so they had to fix that whole thing and ended up having another song leaked as compensation for it? Do you see what I'm saying? These are the people you trust your money with, by the way. And what are they doing with the money that they got from you? That's right, buying an AMG to post on Discord and IG to look hard in front of e-girls. Or sometimes they'll just gamble it all the way on stake. So it's even more of a waste of money. These niggas, at the end of the day, 9 times out of 10, these leakers are fucking losers. They're losers. And I would rather you give your money, your entire life savings away to some random prostitute on the corner, because at least you're directly gaining something from that. I would rather you do that than sit up here and give these losers more of a reason to sit up here and gain an ego like they do anything in their meaningless lives. They are literally the definition of a leech. In fact, this whole leaker scenario, if you really think about it, this is a really interesting metaphor for why capitalism ruins this fucking country.
Across the street, I'm looking both ways. In Hollywood, 5 hours a day. She asked me how
bitch, you know I rock with you the long way.